you have KPIs, key performance indicators. And these are often non-financial things that drive the business. They're things like marketing. So if you're measuring your marketing KPIs, what sort of things would you expect to measure? By marketing, I mean from awareness through to inquiry. What would generate those inquiries?
Blog.
Yep, blogs, tweets, yep. Although partly I measure my time tweeting, so I'm not wasting too much time on it. Yeah, I know lots of you already through Twitter. So yes, there are scheduled tweets in there. That's quite a systematic thing, but there's also the personal relationships, the chatting to people online. And because I'm nosy, I just like to see what people are doing. Events, yeah. The number of events we host, the number of events I attend, networking, getting out there, meeting people face to face. Yep, social media is great, but that needs to be mixed up with real life as well. What other sort of things? You might choose number of mail shots, number of phone calls you make if you use telesales, number of meetings we hold with prospects, advertisements, paper advertisements. That's not so effective for accountants, but it does work for other businesses. And we also monitor the return on each type of marketing. We've got a sign outside our office. It was put up there before the removals van was there. It cost me £60. If you've been to our office, we're on the A370. You drive from Weston-super-Mare to Bristol. You've probably sat at the traffic lights outside our office with nothing else to do. You can look around, you see our sign. We get lots of inquiries from that. £60 for a sign. Another financially cheap one is Twitter, but that takes a lot of time. Don't forget, with your social media, allow for the cost of your time maintaining it. Website statistics, I need to do more with Google Analytics. There are experts can talk to you on that. Articles, blogs, and like I say, your return on investment. Something else I'd monitor are sales. This is the conversion from inquiry through to actually making that sale. So what sort of things drive that conversion? We find the number of meetings we hold. How busy is your diary? Number of quotations you issue. We work on number of customers. You might want to monitor new customers. You might want to monitor total customers. So you can see how it feeds down, how it breaks down. You might track your number of orders, your average order size. And don't just look at the initial order from your customer. There's repeat business as well. Yours is quite clearly repeat, ours is repeat. But others, people have one event at which they need catering. They can come back for more. Even wedding photography, although it's not directly repeat business, you've got the people there can potentially come back to you. The guests can come back. Operations, what you actually do. You could be monitoring things like the percentage that you deliver on time and complete. For us, our operations, we look at the turnaround time on work. I don't want people waiting 9 months for their accounts to be completed. We're aiming for 6 weeks. We can get most turned around in that time. I want to be able to offer a guarantee of that, but I can't quite yet, which is frustrating me. Staff happiness. I know one accountant who just once a week, the staff just say how happy they are on a scale of 1 to 5. Now, it's not how happy you are at work, it's how happy you are altogether. If they've got a sick parent, There's nothing that you can actually do to cure that parent. However, you can find things, you offer them flexible working, temporarily adjust their hours. There are all sorts of things that you can do to help that person. And if you've got a happy team, they'll run your business for you. Telephone response times. I was 53 minutes trying to get through to somebody at HMRC the other day. I used to work in a sales and distribution business. The sales department there had to answer the phone within 5 rings. 98% of calls had to be answered within 5 rings. That's way out from 53 minutes, and I know people have queued for over an hour for HMRC. Talk of which, customer satisfaction ratings. Do you ask your clients for feedback? Any sort of rating? Yeah, it's a good way to find out. If it's good news, that's really great. If it's bad news, in a way it's better. You've got something to work on. You can find out what needs to be improved. You'll get the odd one who'll never be satisfied by anything, but for the most part, if everybody's saying the same thing, that's something you're either getting very right or getting very wrong. Profit by customer or by product. I've spoken about this before. If you've got customers who are taking so much of your time, they are not profitable, get rid of them. If you've got customers that are making very little profit, you need to decide whether you get rid of them or whether you change the way you deal with them to cut your costs or increase your prices to them. And the same goes for your product. You shouldn't be selling unprofitable products, but do you know which those are? And these are the things you need to look at. And none of this is in your statutory accounts. Credit control, cash flow, you look at your cash balance. That's nice. That's actually in your accounts. It's also on your bank statement, give or take a few timing differences. But things that drive that, you look at your standard payment terms and your terms and conditions. But what are your actual payment terms? If you're 30 days from invoice and yet people are paying you 45 days from invoice, you need to do something about it. You can monitor overdue invoices, bad debts. I hope it won't get that far. If you're in a credit control department, you can monitor how many calls you make per day if you're in a big corporation with lots of calls to make. And there are all sorts of other KPIs that you can monitor that are non-financial, that are to do with your quality of your products and services, with your customer service itself. Every business will have different KPIs, and also through the life of your business, you'll be monitoring different KPIs. If you're growing, you'll be looking predominantly at these marketing and sales. We were doing really well there, and then we had to move back inside and make sure we were providing that service internally, because it's no good having customers in if you're not staffed up and resourced to provide a decent service inside. I would say, in a way, your operations are better. If you keep your existing clients happy, they'll sell your product or service for you. Referrals are just so lovely. When happy clients refer us to friends and colleagues they know, we know it's a very positive experience because they know us and what we can offer. They know the prospective client and what they need. So it's usually a very good match, rather than just sending out a mail shot on the off chance that somebody's looking for an accountant at that point and they're looking for an accountant like us.